Before you begin, I invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Herdsmen don't need visa to enter Nigeria. Bodejo Miyetti Hala leader. Politicians behind herdsmen farmer clashes. National President of Miyetti Hala, Kauta Hore, Abdullahi Bello Bodejo, has said that the Fulani in other countries don't need visa to come into Nigeria. In an interview with Vincent Kalu, the leader of Cattle Breeders Association, pointed out that the desperate politicians were behind the incessant herders-farmer clashes. The clashes between herdsmen and farmers seems to have reduced drastically. What is the reason for this? And this was his response. The elections are over and winners have emerged, and there are also losers. The crises were mostly engineered by desperate politicians who tried to use the clashes to score political points. These clashes reached their peak during the electioneering campaign, and after the elections, they have calmed down drastically. Fulani herdsmen don't have cattle colony, they don't have grazing reserve, they don't have ruga, yet the farmers are there and the herdsmen are also there, and we are no longer hearing of clashes. That shows there's something to it that many people don't understand. And we should begin to ask questions. In essence, there are no real herdsmen and farmer crises. It is purely hatred some people have for the Fulani. Some desperate politicians ignite trouble here and there so that the blame will be Fulani. And another question is, since there are no more crises between the Fulani and farmers, are you still insisting on Ruga in all the states as a way of ensuring peace in the country? And here is his response. We need grazing reserves, and I'm urging the federal government as well as the state governors to bring back our grazing reserves all over the country, in all 36 states. The colonial masters and the founding fathers of the country had already mapped out grazing reserves across the country, and that should be restored. These reserves are still available in all the states. Some of them are gazetted, while others are not. Some of them are laying fallow, as some people are not farming there. There are no activities there, but out of hatred, they have refused the Fulani to settle there. What is the position of your group in 2023 regarding where political power should reside? That is another question. Nobody can say where political power should go. It is God that gives power and He determines where power should go. My concern is that people should stop igniting crises in order to win election. Our group has not decided on 2023 because the journey is still very far. Another question says, people are alleging that the free visa policy the federal government is proposing is a ploy to bring in Fulani from different countries as part of the Fulanization agenda. What is your position on this? And his response was, this is democracy. Anybody can say and criticize anything. Fulani are all over Africa and they are the biggest ethnic group in the world. They don't have border. Nothing concerns them with visa. With their cows, they can cross any border and go anywhere they want where there is green pasture. What concerns Fulani with visa? The Fulani that need visa are very few, and they are the very educated ones and are in government in other countries. Free visa or no free visa, Fulani don't have any border. Another question is, do you mean they can go in and out of the country at any time without visa? Oh yes, they go anywhere they want from anywhere without visa all over the whole world, not only in Africa. They can migrate from Sahel, from Sudan, from Chad, from Niger, from Cameroon to here, Nigeria. Nothing concerns them with visa. Even before now that bandits are trying to spoil Fulani name and image, there is nothing that concerns them with visa. The country where they just want to enter, they will enter and you can just see them. So, those who are troubling themselves that the visa-free policy that President Buhari wants to introduce was aimed at bringing in the Fulani from other countries should hold their peace, as there is nothing that concerns the Fulani with visa, as they are well organized and already know how they do their movement with their cows. Anywhere they see grass, they start grazing in that area. They don't need visa. You can see them, they just appear there and start their grazing business. Another question says, reports have it that the meeting Fulani ethnic groups across West Africa had in Banjul, Gambia, penultimate Saturday, where you were in attendance, was in furtherance of the free visa policy and how the race can flood into Nigeria. Is that true? I had an invitation from the Fulani from Africa, particularly Gambia, for Fulani Festival, where they were displaying various Fulani cultures. Our association, Miyetti Kauta Hore, is a Fulani socio-cultural organization. Anything that concerns the cultures of the Fulani the world over, they usually invite me. There is nothing like going there to organize on how to take over Nigeria. Fulani is Fulani, whether in Chad, Niger, Cameroon, Sudan. There may be a very insignificant slight change in the language. So they invited us to come and see the Fulani brothers all over Africa. Another question says, you said Fulani is Fulani all over. What is the difference between Fulani and Hausa? There is a great difference. For example, if they married your mother from Hausa, you can say you are Fulani or Hausa. You are Hausa Fulani. That is a little difference. Fulani are different from any other ethnic group in the whole world. If we marry from them and bear children, then they are Hausa Fulani. Everywhere people are trying to be Fulani. Hausa are not involved in cattle rearing, but it is only the marriage between us. However, now everybody is involved in cattle rearing. Igbo, Hausa, Berom, Jonkun, Hausa, etc. And that is why these clashes are happening here and there. Some people are trying to collect the business of cattle rearing from the Fulani, which they have been doing for centuries. So when these other people commit crimes or clash with farmers, they would accuse the Fulani herdsmen of being responsible. Fulani cannot collect people's land. Nobody can control cow if he is not a Fulani. So guys, this is the details of the news. And if you consider the content of this news or this interview, you will discover that this man mentioned of the colonial masters, saying that the colonial masters has mapped out grazing reserves across the country, and they want it to be restored. Then you begin to think, how are these people still reasoning? We are already in the 22nd century of the world. Things are not done the way it is done in the 30s, in the 40s or 50s. People are not practicing open grazing any longer anywhere in the world, except in Africa, and not even all over Africa. Some African countries, they don't use open grazing any longer. And as far as I'm concerned, cow business is not only meant for the Fulanis. It can be done by anybody, by any individual, by any government or organization, by any company, as long as you have the facilities to take care of these cows, as long as you have the experience of taking care of them, anybody can venture into cow business. So why are they trying to make it like cow business is only meant for the Fulanis? And you can see the kind of mentality they are having, the mentalities of the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, where people carry a cow from one location for about 30-kilometer trekking. Is it not going to be better when you have your cows in a place like a commercial ranching where you can feed them and water them, and they'll live fine, not rather than carrying them from 1 kilometer to another 20-30 kilometers every day. Even that alone will make them lose all the nutrients they have possessed while feeding. So another question you should ask yourself is that, now if this border is eventually opened for these people to come in, what are the plans by the federal government to take care of them? Already the few ones we have in Nigeria, we are having problems with them almost every time. And now they want to bring more. The door is about to be opened for them widely. So what is the plan of the federal government to make sure that when these people came in eventually, there will be no problems? What are the plans they are having for them to make sure that they will not become a problem to the people of Nigeria? What are their plans in securing people's lives eventually if things begin to turn other way around? And is it that we don't have enough population in Nigeria already that we can utilize for everything we need. Why do we even need people from other countries in the first place? That is going to be visa free. If people are coming to the country, they should come with visa. It doesn't matter who is coming. Anybody who is coming to your country should come with a visa. That is how it is done in an advanced country, in a sane country. In case of anything, in case there will be a crime, anybody who is committing a crime, if the government have your record on the system, whenever there is a crime, we'll be able to tell who has committed a crime. If it's a foreigner or if it's an insider that has committed this crime, as long as you have your visa or your passport, something to identify yourself, the government will be able to know who is guilty of this offense. So when you bring people without visa, when problems happen, how do you identify who committed the offense? Or how do you differentiate from your people? From the foreigners. So let's learn how to do things right in Nigeria. This is 22nd century. The world is more advanced than the way our leaders are thinking. If they really have a Fulani agenda in their mind, then let them separate the country. It is not by force to be together, forever. After all, we are never meant to be together. But now we have found ourselves together. But if you think our coexistence is not conducive enough with you, then let us just disseminate. Let's break up. Let everybody go to their regions. If you want to bring the other Fulanis from all over the Africa country, then bring them to your side in the north, and let the Oduduwa go alone. Let the Biafrans, let them go separate, and so you, the Hariwas and the Fulanis and the Hausas, can be in the north together. It's not a problem. Rather than trying to impose people on other people because you are in power, that is not fair enough. And we have to condemn this policy. In other countries of the world, in a saner climate, whenever the government officials are trying to bring out a new policy and it's not okay with the citizens, the people protest against it and they wouldn't have any alternative as long as people come out in their numbers to condemn the policy that is anti-people policy. Then the government will have no alternative or choice than to reverse the action or to reverse the policy. But in Nigeria, we are too tolerant. We allow several things to happen for happening's sake. And these are the problems we are having in Nigeria. We tolerate a lot of things by the government. We keep silent even when we are not supposed to be keeping silent. And that's the genesis of our problem. Whenever there's policy that is that's not good enough for us, it is our right to say, no, we don't want this policy. These people are there to serve our interests, not to serve their own interest. So by the time they are trying to bring a policy that will affect us, then we have to come out and say, no, we don't want it. But they will not listen unless we come out in our numbers. Nigeria is a country of about 150 million people, plus or minus. So whenever there is a policy that is not against us, then it is our right to come out in our millions to protest against it. If 5 to 7 million people can come out for a protest, imagine if the government will listen or not. But the problem is we are not always united where it's necessary. We rather batter ourselves, smash ourselves on the internet, on Facebook, on the social media, instead of us to bring out our aggression together and come out to the streets and show the aggression to the government. We'll always bring the aggression to the Facebook, so which is not helping us at all. So my people, it is right time for us to begin to, reject whatever policies coming from the government, so that let's tell them we are not okay with this policy, and they wouldn't have any choice. If we come out in numbers, they wouldn't have any choice than to revise the policy. That is how it is done in Senate climes. But because every time they introduce new policy in Nigeria, either it is okay with us or not, we feel reluctant to make our voice heard. That is why they are bringing policies every time. Sometimes they will tell you they have to increase the electricity bill. Nobody will talk. They will increase fuel price. Nobody will voice out. They will increase food stuffs. Nobody will talk. So the more we allow these things to happen, the more worse policies they bring every time. Recently, they have just introduced a new increase in bank charges, which is not supposed to be in the first place. But because we always allow all these things to go for fun, Sometimes when some people are trying to criticize these policies, some other people, probably because of their party affiliations, probably because of their religion or ethnicity affiliation, they'll begin to, support what the government is doing, telling you, oh, before you can enjoy something, you have to make some sacrifices. How long are we going to make sacrifices in Nigeria before we get it right? It is even very shameful that for about 59 years of independence in Nigeria, we are yet to be enjoying 24/7 electricity supply in this century that we are. It is a shameful thing, and our leaders are not thinking about this. Instead of this, they would rather bring some useless policies that is not helping the people, that will not help people to go out of poverty. We are now named as the poverty capital of the world, and yet they are not concerned about it because it doesn't affect them. So, my people, I want to stop for now. I want to hear your own opinions as well. Let's meet at the comment section below in my YouTube channel. Let me hear your opinions about this matter. And please don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to give a thumbs up. And please, if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, it is very important. Don't forget to subscribe because it costs you nothing. It's just for you to click on the red subscribe button and then turn on the notification bell to get notified whenever we upload new videos. And as you are doing so, may God of heaven bless you in the name of God. Thank you. Till I come your way some other time. Have a wonderful day. Bye.